You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is your Good Morning Vail. I'm Liz, and we're really excited to be here on TV8. Lots of amazing interviews today. We have a new neighbor in town, and you're going to love this neighbor, and we have a lot of great interviews. We're going to Zoom with a couple of people and have some really wonderful guests. So if you are ready, we are too. Good Morning Vail on TV8. It starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Well, that weather looks pretty incredible, but I'm thinking about the winter weather that's coming up, and that's why I have this guest sitting next to me. I'm really excited. This is our brand new neighbor here in town, Chuck Pass from Bluebird Lockers. This is something that everybody's going to be excited about, whether you are a boarder, a skier, a telemarker, whatever you do. When you want to get up there and fight for lockers or have all that cramped space, no more, because we have you here now. Chuck, I'm really excited to have you here today and as our new neighbor here in the Seasons building in Avon. Tell us all about the Bluebird Locker system that you have planned for all of our athletes and, well, wannabe athletes that are here in our community.
Absolutely. Well, Liz, I want to first of all say thank you very much for having me here.
Our pleasure.
To talk about our new business in the Seasons.
Right.
And we are bluebirdskilockers.com, so you can go to that site and learn more about it. But we're going to make it easy for people. We're having different size lockers for 2 sets of skis, for 4 sets of skis, and of course for your snowboards. You can put your helmets, some clothes, gloves, accessories in there, so you don't have to schlep it from your condo or your house all the time. You can walk across the street to the Weston lift, so you can go 100 feet or so in your boots, so you don't have to go too far. We want to make it easy for everybody.
Well, I can tell just by listening to what you're saying, it makes it easy. Number one, there's a lot of people that do not like walking around in those boots. They're not really fun. They're super cumbersome. So if you have stairs to deal with or anything like that, you are a hop, skip, and a lift away.
Absolutely.
You like that, how I did that?
Exactly.
Yeah. But this is cool because of the different sizes as well. Now, I've seen your space, which is right next to us here on TV8. It's massive.
Right.
So you're going to have a lot of space for people.
Absolutely. So we're going to have a lounge area where we'll have TVs, couches. So before you go out, you can sit and wait for your partners to come by. We're going to have an outside space. There's a beautiful patio that you can reach to. We'll have 3 entrances and exits. We'll have several changing rooms. We have our own restrooms.
Wow.
We're also going to have a small kitchenette so you can have coffee, tea. We'll have some food there for you. We're going to make it easy and fun for you. Accessibility
Look how
24/7,
pretty that is.
7 days a week, exactly. So this is all new stuff that we're coming out with. So the idea is to make it almost like a club.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's more like a little gathering space. You can meet your friends there when you're getting ready and all the other fun stuff, but it's really a nice environment. It's almost like a really fancy health club's locker area where you go in and you just feel good. It's kind of elegant looking, but you're
Exactly.
doing your favorite sport of life, and then you get to meet your friends, and literally you are right here. So you don't have to worry about walking too far, getting to that lift, or even just going to the parking spaces are really close.
Oh, absolutely. We want to make everything accessible, not make it so hard. I mean, skiing, you have a big workout, truthfully. But if you get your stuff and you can dress easily, and with your friends, it's going to be a social. That's what we want to make
I
it.
love that.
Very social activity. And like you said, it's going to be like a club.
Yep.
A fancy club is the idea.
And everybody gets to see each other with their helmets off first. So
Right.
everybody can recognize who everybody is at the same time.
Exactly.
Which I think is great. Now, I am not, anybody who knows me knows I'm not the greatest skier. But what I did figure out when I was trying is it's a very cumbersome sport. I couldn't even, and I'm not that strong, so I couldn't lug everything. And if I had to lug it all the way up to the lift and
Yeah.
everything else, it would be really, it
be
wouldn't
very-
make it fun for me.
Exactly.
And it didn't make it fun for
Right.
me.
You'd be worn out before you got to
I was
to the-
exhausted.
to the thing. The other few things that we're offering people is that if you want to have your skis tuned, you let us know. We're working with another sporting goods store that tunes skis.
Wow.
We will take them out of your locker for you. We will deliver them, get them tuned overnight, and bring them back.
That's a service.
So that's a good little service for you. If you live out of town, you're only going to come for a week or two. We're also going to save some lockers that you could rent for a week,
Wow.
which is a little different than most people do. You can ship them to us. We'll ship them back to you. We're going to make it as easy as possible for you. But we really found that taking care of your skis and bindings and boots, and if you have a problem and you don't have time to get it fixed, we'll take care of it for you.
This is full service.
It's full service. We're also going to have a little area in there that you can do a little bit of tweaking on your skis too. We'll have a few vices.
Oh.
If there's a few little things, but it won't be a full service thing by any means inside. So
Just
that
for
will
people
go.
who know how to tighten their boots, like a little
Exactly.
key wrench or whatever. That
Exactly,
whatever
right.
they use there.
Right. If you have a few issues with your boots or your helmet or whatever, there'll be a little area for you to work on that too.
I can't tell you how excited, I can feel the excitement about this because let me ask you something. So a lot of pass holders, there's only a limited amount of space for lockers up where people go.
Exactly.
And it's usually a first come, first served basis, and then everybody's kind of stranded. And then for safety purposes, this is my biggest thing. A lot of things get, unfortunately, even in a beautiful place like this, people will take your stuff if it's just
Right.
sitting out there in the open. I've heard so many stories last year where people just walk away with someone's skis and things like that.
Absolutely. So every locker is locked.
Right.
You'll have your own combination, 100%. There'll be a key code to get into the facility.
Ooh.
So if somebody is not at the desk at that moment, safety-wise, it's going to be very, very secure. Skis will never be let out. I mean, if we have skis out, it's because they're getting tuned.
Right.
But we will put them away immediately. If you ship them to us, they're going to be in a locked, place in the facility.
Those lockers look huge. You can really store a lot. I mean, where I live, I couldn't even put a ski in our little locker area.
Oh, right.
This is really fantastic, and I like how you have the apparatuses where you can hang your stuff on there as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And even if people want to snowshoe and come on up,
Oh,
and
yes.
you have a change of clothes or
Right.
anything. Now, is there a price structure that you're going to work with?
Right, so they're really rented by the year.
Okay.
So just to give you an idea on a price, for 2 sets of skis with all the accessories, it'll be $19.95 a year.
That's it?
That's it. And then for 4 sets, it'll be $29.95 for the entire year. That's what people don't realize sometimes. It's not a month, it's not a week, it's an entire year.
That is
So-
remarkable. That's affordable for everybody.
For everybody, especially people that live in a 1,400 square foot condo. Where do you put your stuff all the time? It's really
No
a bummer.
kidding.
And drying it out. We're also going to have boot dryers to let you know. So you can put your boots on there while you're changing back into your street clothes. By that time, your boots will be dry. Throw them right back into the facility. We're also going to have vents in there, so your clothes will dry. I mean, it's a very dry atmosphere here anyway.
Yes,
but
it is.
still things get moist, gloves and stuff like that. So, we're always thinking about that to keep things dry.
This is remarkable. You haven't missed a beat on this.
Well, we're trying. I mean, we're trying. This is my son in my operation, and we have some business partners also involved. And we've all been skiers over the years, so we kind of know what people were looking for. And when I used to come skiing, oh my gosh, 50 years ago, we had nothing like this at all.
50, come on.
I mean, oh my gosh, yes, I'm actually longer than that. So the skis were much longer. Everything
I
was
remember
different.
they were huge.
Oh, we used to ski with over 200 centimeters, like it was no big deal. But with the parabolic skis now, the skis have gotten shorter, so you can fit more stuff in the lockers, which is nice, I have to say. And you should be able to fit your cross-country skis and like snowshoes, like you were talking about. You can use it for other accessories.
Sure.
We're also going to have about 7 rooms that are going to be 10 by 10, 10 by 15. If people want to rent one of those. Now that's a whole thing where there'll be a couch, there'll be your own personal thing. You could actually put your bicycles in there if you choose in the summertime. You'll have still for ski stuff. I mean, they're pretty substantial. That's a whole different price structure. So that's something you can call us on, to be honest with you.
But I mean, you guys have
that's
thought
a
of
new deal.
Everything as far as, talk about the word convenience.
That's number one is
And
convenience.
affordability.
Affordability.
And security.
Absolutely.
And happy.
And happy, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be so happy. I'm blown away by the prices because, a lot of times out here, everybody's like, oh, I want to do this and that, but the expense is so high.
Yep.
So you know what? If people save up all year long for that pass, they only have a little extra money if they want to throw down for that locker.
That's right.
And I just think it's magnificent. And you are 100% correct. I'm one of those people that live in a very small condo.
Yeah.
And when they built condos out here forever ago, they didn't have any storage. It was for people to come in, change their clothes, and leave.
Exactly. Yeah, times have changed.
Yes, they
truthfully.
have.
And,
But you're going with the times.
We're trying to go with our times, and we just know by us living here with the facilities and talking to a lot of the local people, we're becoming a local person now too. I mean, we're still very new in the area, but just hearing what they wanted, and we've come out in the last year talking to a lot of people and looking at the competition, of course, but most people's lockers are at the ski resorts.
Right.
This is kind of a different idea that we're hoping people will catch on to and enjoy. And this building is just perfect with condos above it, and the location's fabulous, I think. And
it's perfect location. And just to sum this up, if you are looking to have the greatest experience coming up this summer, you have a place to stash your stuff, a place to meet your peoples, change, and all the other good stuff. Grab a little, water or something like that. This is magnificent. I can't thank you enough for being here and being part of our community now and doing something that should have happened a long time ago. So I'm really grateful that you're here, and I know everybody is ready for this. How do people reach you so they can get this ready for the winter? So
bluebirdskilockers.com, you can go on there, and we have a phone number, and I just got my number, so I don't know it. It's 970-343-6220. But most people want to go to the website, and you can sign up now because we're starting to do reservations for people. We hope to be open by Thanksgiving, first week of December.
That's fast.
So construction has started, but it's going to take a few months, honestly. So, we'll work with you 100%.
This is Chuck Pass, like Ski Pass. This is Bluebird Ski Lockers. This is going to be amazing, and we're so welcoming you to the community and as our new neighbors. Get ready to get yourself super convenient for the winter. I'm Liz. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday morning and our guests keep on flowing. I'm going to talk with somebody very special right now. It's Dr. Mike Levenstein. And we have a lot of issues with our skin between the heat, between the clothes we wear, and all of the activities that we do, and the dryness. Psoriasis is a big deal with a lot of us. And I can only say that over 7.5 million Americans live with this. That's a big condition that we have, but there are ways to help and there are ways to deal. Dr. Levenstein, how are you today?
Hi, Liz. I'm
Hi.
actually Dr. Noor, but hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have the wrong doctor's name on my paper. My apologies.
Totally fine, totally fine. I'm doing well.
I
How are
have
you
all
doing
the faith
today?
in the world in you. I have some
Don't worry.
questions for, oh yeah, Dr. Noor, I apologize for that. How are people that live with psoriasis impacted the most?
So, you mentioned it, 7.5 million Americans are living with psoriasis where they're getting these thick plaques all over their body. I mean, a lot of people, like you said, they've seen the commercials, they're itching, they're scratching, their scalp is flaking. And it affects a lot of people. I've had patients come into the office thinking that their rash is contagious and they can't hold their kids. So getting more education and information out there, I mean, it affects a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
And I can imagine as children, they might have to deal with what other kids say when they see something that they're not sure about, because what people are afraid of, they kind of pick on. So we would love to know more information on how to deal with this and everything else. So what do you recommend for managing this type of condition?
So we're here with UCB to get a better understanding of how our adult patients can help control their psoriasis. So we have a medication, Bimzelx, which targets IL-17A and F, which are cytokines that are overproduced in the immune system that produce the rash internally, because psoriasis is inflammation in the immune system. So when you start anyone on any medication, you want to make sure the medication is right for them. You want to check blood work, make sure that they're healthy, check a TB test, check their liver enzymes. And then, like starting anyone on any medication, you want to check if they have any side effects, or if they have any side effects. The most common side effects for the medication include upper respiratory tract infection, headache, cold sores, and even acne.
Well, that is really, really intriguing. And what I've noticed is even if I get an itch, I put on ice because it cools it down. So is there a cooling effect to this medication?
So it's a medication. So if I mentioned earlier that the inflammation is internal. So this is a biologic that's actually administered through the skin to affect the whole body. So it's an injection that works internally to help minimize that inflammation that's causing the signs and symptoms of psoriasis.
Oh, I got you. Okay, now I see a lovely lady with you. Hi, Joey, by the way. You are a mom
Hi.
and you deal with
How are you?
children. Good, thank you very much. And you actually deal with people living with psoriasis and things like that. Now, let me ask you a question about your diagnosis, because you've also been dealing with this on your own. How do you manage the plaque psoriasis, and what exactly is plaque psoriasis?
I have to refer that to Dr. Noor.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier the plaque psoriasis, how it can affect and cause the rashes on your skin. But tell us a little bit about how you went through your diagnosis.
Yeah.
I can tell you about that. My personal experience, I was diagnosed back in 2015. Prior to that, I was very active. I was a competitive swimmer. I basically lived in a bathing suit. My entire life changed when I started getting these sores on my body. I covered every inch of my body from head to toe, long sleeves, long pants. It didn't matter if it was 105 degrees out. My entire life changed. I became very depressed. It was a very emotional time for me. I was not seeing the right doctor because I was not getting the right treatment. He was not listening to, he was only worried about what was going on externally, but not internally. And as Dr. Noor said, it's more of an internal thing. So I found other doctors. I had to advocate for myself, ask the right questions, find the right teammate, which I did, and come up with a proper treatment plan. And I feel I was expecting more. I would not accept any less than, you know, I have clear skin now, and I'm very, very happy, and I'm going to continue advocating for myself and continue my treatment so I can live my best life.
Well, I can tell you that you look wonderful. You wouldn't even know you had it, so there's obviously a major benefit to what you are doing. As far as emotional health, do you feel a little less heavy now? And maybe, I'm sure it's got to play a role on your mental health.
It really does. You have no idea. As you stated prior, people do ask questions. There is a stigma attached when you have sores all over your body. People do wonder if it's contagious. I was wearing fingerless gloves. I didn't want anybody to see. That's why I covered myself up. It was embarrassing because people look at you funny and they don't understand. And I think that people do need to be educated on this more.
I agree
because
with you.
they need to understand.
Well, I can say that looking at you now, your skin is actually beautiful. You have lovely skin. So I think that
Thank you.
all have done just an incredible job together, working with each other and all that stuff. Now, let me ask you something. Joey, what is your advice for others who are living with the same condition?
As I said, expect more, don't accept less. Make sure that you have a very good communication and relationship with your doctor. They have to be listening to you. They have to find a treatment plan that you can plan together, one that works for you, one that will keep you living your best life and never, ever settle.
Well, I'm happy you didn't settle, and I'm happy that you are on the road to recovery and you look fantastic, and that's what matters. And that's the most important thing, that people know that there's hope, there's help, and all the other good stuff. And Dr. Noor, what final takeaway do we have to give our listeners and viewers about psoriasis?
So yeah, Joey said it best. Don't settle. Know that there are options available to you. If you look in the mirror and you don't feel that you're at your 100% best, go out and find a second opinion. And if you want to get more information, you can always go to bimzelx.com. That's BIMZELX.com to find out more information.
Well, Joey and Dr. Noor, I can't thank you enough for being here, being vulnerable and open about such a very sensitive subject. You guys are very much appreciated. We are grateful for having you guys right here on Good Morning Vail on TV8. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long.
This is the one that works.
Starting on one side, peel off to expose adhesive and affix it beneath your earlobe. Stretch the strip around the back of your neck until it reaches the other side. Remove the white backing from the other end of the strip and attach under the other earlobe. Go ahead and take your hair down.
Wow, look at that. Necklace really is the one that works.
Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine, and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh wow, took like 6 years off in here.
Well, I like it. It's like a mini facelift. Oh, it totally works.
Think I need a box or two.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer. When I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning here at TV8 Vail is packed with so many great guests. We're mixing it up, and now we're going to sports here in our community. This is great. I have Ryan Lynch here. Now, Ryan, you're not only the athletic and activities director, but you're also the assistant principal at the Eagle Valley High School.
That's right.
Welcome to Good Morning Vail.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I'm really happy to have you here. So what can we be most excited about coming up for this next season?
So we've got some good fall sports coming. I actually got off to a really good start. All of our teams, we only have one loss between all of our teams. I know it's really early.
That's great, though.
It is, and I think a lot of people might know that the two schools, Battle Mountain and ourselves, have mixed our football teams together. Battle Mountain wasn't able to field a team, unfortunately, this year. But the AD and I came together, we worked out a deal, and so we're taking some of their students, and our football team is probably larger than it's been the last 7 to 8 years, which is great. We've got a lot of kids out there, maybe 60, 65 kids now.
That's remarkable. And at first people were like kind of sad that we heard, oh, if there's not enough interest at Battle Mountain, what are we going to do? Where's the Huskies and all that? But then you brought in a collaboration of players, and now you have a stellar team.
Yeah, we do. And that's actually exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the two communities together and make this one team. We kind of have that with the hockey situation over there. Our players play hockey for them, and so we're doing the same thing in football, and hopefully we can collaborate and make one, great team that everybody can be proud of in the area.
I think it's wonderful. We used to have something when I was growing up called the Optimist Club, and that's where you would bring the kids from different areas of the schools if you didn't have a full team or something, and they would create a local team. So it's kind of what you're doing, but even probably a little bit more exciting and better than what we did forever ago. Now, what is the dynamic for the kids now? Are they excited? Are they getting ready to be superstars, or are they just kind of going in slowly and making their way in quietly?
So with this team, they came in a little apprehensive. Everybody's trying to understand, who the coaching staff is. Luckily for us, we've got a great coaching staff out there, and they were able to welcome in the kids. And, it's a little bit of a drive from their school to ours, so we changed our practice time to accommodate them when they come. And so everybody is on the same page now, and I'll be honest, I've heard nothing but good things. And so I'm feeling pretty positive about it. I'm excited to get the season started. We start this Friday, actually. We're playing Gunnison.
And where are you guys practicing?
So we practice at our school, our field at Eagle Valley High School. And then, their drive is probably about 28 minutes, 30-minute drive. And so we change practice time from 4 to 4:30. And so they get there on time. And it's worked out pretty well so far. And
that's pretty impressive.
Another thing I want to mention, and I want to thank the AD from Battle Mountain, Bobby Ecker. He's really helped us with equipment. opened up their storage room to us and gave us everything that we needed, so we didn't have to order all new stuff, which is great at a public high school. If anybody knows, the funds are a little bit tough sometimes, so that was a huge help, and we really appreciate that quite a bit.
Well, that's what we call teamwork.
Right.
I mean, if they're not using it, why not bring it over to you guys, and then everybody can use what they have, and then you don't have to worry about money and some kid going without.
Exactly.
Or anything like that. Now, how do you change your roles from being, having to lead people and having to tell people what to do?
Right, yeah, that's tough.
Is it?
This is my second year, and so also having the assistant principal role added on to the athletic director role, as you mentioned earlier, that makes it pretty tough. So I think my job kind of turned into a collaborator at this point to try to bring everybody together, and Bobby and I kind of did that together, actually. And it was, like I said, it was a little bit apprehensive at first. We were working with the parents and making sure everybody understands we're on the same page here, and you guys are going to be looked at just like our students are, and so that's kind of how it's turned out.
Good, so there's no different balance of, we're actually of this school. Everybody welcomes their teammates like brothers, and that's the way it should be.
It is, and I have to give credit to the principals as well. Tom and Jason, we all sat down in a meeting before we did this, and we decided let's come at this from a community aspect, and so we want everybody to feel like we're on the same page. And they were a catalyst for that as well. And we put out a message to the whole district and let everybody know kind of what we're doing, and everybody's kind of bought in so far, so it's been a good deal.
I think it's wonderful when a community comes together for something as important as local sports, because everybody just loves to cheer the kids on and everything like that. And are they excited to get ready? And do you have people coming in to scout the guys yet for maybe college or anything like that when it comes to be?
Not quite yet, but that's going to start pretty soon. I'll
Yeah.
start receiving phone calls, and then we'll sit down with the coach and have the scouts come in and talk to the coach about recruiting, and so that's when it gets kind of fun for the kids for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the age group is anywhere from what?
That's freshman to senior.
Freshman to senior, and then do you have the cheerleading squad?
So we have a pep squad, and then we have a dance squad. So we're a little bit different. We don't have cheerleading at our school, so we use our dance squad as the cheerleaders for the games.
That's wonderful. And, cheerleading these days is more like dancing anyway. They do these amazing things. So that's really good. So the whole community gets to come together.
Right.
As far as pep rallies go, you're going to have those?
Yeah, we got a pep rally coming up here pretty soon. I'm not sure exactly what the date is on that.
Oh, okay.
But, I know within the next month we're going to have one. And then we do that. We coordinate that with Devil Duels, which is something separate that we do at our school for all the students. And so we'll incorporate both of those together and introduce the teams.
That
It'd be
sounds
pretty cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like a great pep rally where everybody gets super stoked, excited, and getting ready for just the biggest season of high school sports.
Right, yeah, that's the fun part about it. And then everybody gets on the same page and we're ready to go. And we've got really good crowds at the games, and so it becomes a lot of fun. It's a little tough as an AD sometimes to control all of that.
Oh, I bet.
But we've got really good kids, and I didn't have too many problems with it last year. So we're hoping for some bigger crowds this year with the two schools combined in football. But we've got, all of our other sports are great too. We just had a volleyball game the other night with Central Grand Junction.
Oh, nice.
And that was our first game for the new students this year to get a taste of, we call them the bleacher creatures. And they sit up there, and so they get pretty loud, and it's a great atmosphere. We've actually got a game tonight too against Montrose with volleyball if you want to come on out.
Oh, fun.
And varsity will start about 7 o'clock, but that's going to be a really good game, I think.
Volleyball can be pretty exciting.
It is.
You didn't realize, I never thought it, but it's action-packed.
Right.
And sometimes you don't have to wait for anything in volleyball because it's continuous. It's going on. You don't have to stop, wait.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's definitely action-packed. We got a great coach that keeps the energy level up, and he even gets involved with the crowd a little bit, which is pretty fun. And so he's built a great program, and I'm really proud of our volleybal program for sure.
I love that. Do you have any advice for parents that get a little bit overworked during the games?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to bring that up.
No, it's okay. That's a tough part of the job sometimes. I completely understand. I'm a parent too. I've got a daughter, and so I used to get pretty involved in her softball games. So I try to take that into knowing what these parents are getting into a little bit. And sometimes if they get a little bit too rowdy, I might go sit next to them in the crowd and put my arm around them a little bit and just talk to them. But other than that, our parents are pretty good. I have a parent meeting at the end of or beginning of every season and kind of set the expectations, and everybody seems to fall in line. I didn't have too many problems last year, so I'm hoping for the same this year.
Well, that's really great that you have that meeting right at the beginning, because sometimes parents get overworked because they're their kids, but they're not the coach, so they have to sit and cheer their kids on, screaming and
Well, that's
everything
a
like
tough
that.
job.
It is a tough job, my
Yeah.
goodness. But you guys seem to have it all like zeroed in. And
Right.
what other sports can we be excited about? With
So-
the volleyball and the football, what else?
So we have softball that started off 4-1, and they've got a great coach, Jesse Merrihew, and this is his first year coaching the softball team, and they've done amazing. We just played a tournament in Loveland where we went 3-1, and it was great. And so our cross country team is unbelievable. Our coach, Melinda Brandt, she takes them all over the country. And so I think this year, maybe in a couple weeks, I'm not sure the exact date, they're going to Phoenix, and they're going to run, it's called the Twilight, and it's a Nike sponsored event. And
Wow.
so they did it last year in Terre Haute. We got some great runners. The Blair brothers are unbelievable, and so their mother's actually a coach on the team, and I couldn't say enough about them. They're probably one of our premier sports, if not the premier sport.
I was wondering about that. Do you think the Olympics that have just gone through have motivated these kids to be even bigger and badder than they ever were?
There's absolutely no doubt about it. Yeah, you can see it on their face at practice for sure. And
Really?
They bring in that fire and motivation, and that team definitely is ready to go right away.
That's exciting. There's something about when you see all these major athletes doing so great, and then you're going and you're just starting off, or you've been doing it for a couple of years. It just gives you that oomph,
Right.
and that drive and the excitement.
Well, I have to tell you, we like I said, we have great coaches, and the coaching staff. I went to my first cross country event last year, and I think the coaches run more than the kids do. I've
my
never seen
goodness.
anything like it. So the coaches just take off as soon as the race starts, and I started looking around, going, "Well, where am I supposed to go?" I didn't know what was going on. So it was great, and they're extremely motivated as coaches too. I would assume the Olympics probably put a little bit of fire into them as well. So.
That's incredible. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Ryan Lynch, everybody, doing such great things with the kids for the sports. Now, how do people look up the schedules?
So the best way is just to go on our website. I'm not sure exactly what the website is off the top of my head. I think it's evhs.eagleschools.com, and then you can look at athletics, and it'll pull up all of our schedules per season, and that's the easiest way to find it for sure.
That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough for being here. Ryan Lynch
Absolutely.
this is going to be amazing. Let's get ready to cheer on our kids and all of our athletes and everything else that we have going on coming up for the fall sports season. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Sure. Thank you so much for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Always, always. Well, this is Good Morning Vail on TV8, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Welcome to Nantucket Rope Bracelets. All of our stylish bracelets are handmade in our Nantucket workshop, using only the best non-shrinking line with soft, flexible finish. Find us at NantucketRopeBracelets.com and order your beautiful piece from Nantucket today.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
have had so many great guests with all the different kinds of activities that we get to experience here in our community. Well, there's even another kind of experience that people love to go to. So we have a great interview coming up, and we're going to show you right now. It's the Vail Gun and Rod Club.
We are here with Greg Juflis, the owner of Lazy J Ranch. Greg, tell us a little bit about the property here and your family's history in the Vail Valley.
I'd be glad to. The Lazy J Ranch is a small part of a much larger ranch property here that my family, my grandfather came from Greece in 1907. He came up here a few years after that, but sheep ranchers, and we had one of the largest sheep operations in Colorado. And based here primarily, there was a large stockyard here. So, and as we discussed briefly earlier, you had to have 2 ranches to have a sheep operation. The business model is a little different for sheep ranching from the cattle. So, summer ranch, which is what this was, high country. We did graze on the forest all the way from here up on Red and White Mountain, up to Piney, down across Gore Valley and up into the back bowls. So we had, at one point we had 15,000 sheep. So we had quite a large operation. And then for the winter, you would move your herd down to the desert and just graze them out on the desert, which was kind of like a fundamental difference between the cattle operations and the sheep operations. The cattle guys raised hay and fed, which was another expense that we didn't have to have with our operation. So anyway, so that's a little background on the sheep business. But so we've been here for, since the early 1900s. And we're now, like Henry and Miranda, are 4th generation on the ranch. So we got a long presence here in the valley and seen a lot of change over the years. One of the things that I think that you've noticed at the Rod and Gun Club here, we've kind of preserved some of that old ranch culture. It's hard to find in the valley anymore. So,
absolutely,
yeah,
and it's definitely noticeable. Like that tradition here, it's super noticeable with like some of the older buildings, a little bit of that like, you know, antique vibe still around.
Sure.
But tell me a little bit more about how things have changed for your family over the last 100 or so years, and how you guys have kind of shifted with the times from, you know, ranching to a little bit more of a touristy area, because Vail Valley has certainly changed.
Oh, dramatically, dramatically. So. The ranch operations, Eagle County, up until the 60s when Vail started, and for some time after that, you know, the valley was pretty much ranching, mostly in the lower valley, like mid-valley here, and up to probably about where Eagle Vale is. There was some ranching up above Minturn too a little bit, but then you had the mines in Minturn and Gilman and Climax, so, and then there was some logging operations, and then the towns like Eagle and Gypsum were sort of, you know, they were basically geared towards servicing the ranching community, and the railroad was a big presence here too, like Minturn, for example. So that was sort of the economic base here well into the 60s. And then Vail started, and, you know, I got to admit, my father was somewhat skeptical. People are going to pay to come up here in the wintertime and all of that. So I think he was a little surprised by the success of the operation, right? And as Vail expanded, so this is now, I was born in 1957, so I didn't see the early part, but I think there it was, you know, for decades, up, like I said, up until the 60s, it was probably, you know, not a lot of change. It was that economic base that I talked about, the mining, the ranching, a little bit of timber, the railroads, that stuff.
And that history is still very much present in the valley. Like you can
certainly
see not just the remnants of it, but
right.
like you guys yourself, the family's still here.
Still here. We're one of the few left, you know, and but anyway, so during my time, I mean, I could still recall as a child, you know, going up to the sheep camps to move the camps and resupply the herders and everything up on Vail Mountain and in the back bowls up on Red and White and, you know, where Piney Lake is, all of that. Those were all forest permits. So in the spring, you'd bring your herds up on the railroad, unload them here, and then you trail them up Muddy Pass up onto Red and White, and it would be this whole summer process, right? As the snow receded and the grasses came in and the browse, you just follow it up, and then in the fall the same thing. As the frost started to burn up in the high country, burn all the vegetation in the high country, you'd come back down, and then in October you needed to get out of that high country before the big snows started, and so you'd come down and you'd ship your lambs to Denver to the stockyards over there, and your herd, the ewes and the rams, back out to the desert in Utah at that point. So that was still happening when I was a kid, and I remember all of that quite well. And then as Vail happened, you know, it started to just in the Vail Valley to begin with. And then it pretty quickly got down to where Eagle Vail is now. And it was pretty steady progression and growth from that. And as that expanded, you know, the ranching on the valley floor contracted as the land uses changed.
Yep.
And I think when I got out of high school, I'd have to check to be really accurate, but I think this is at least ballpark. I got out of high school in 1975. I think the valley population was less than 10,000 people. And as I understand from the last census now, it's around 70,000, and that doesn't include the 20 or 30,000 visitors that are here. So just the numbers of people here has dramatically
Well, and
changed.
even that census number is like almost 2,000 above the previous census.
Yeah, and but compared to like when I was a kid, it's like multiples larger now, right?
Yeah.
So that's obviously a big change, right? And the communities have changed. I mean, there's still some ranching going on, but it's a very small component now of the economy and things. So we're sort of like this island of antiquated operations here. It's like we're just I guess we're just too stubborn to quit.
But you guys have had to change with the times a little bit yourselves, right? Are you guys doing much sheep
well,
ranching still?
No, we run cattle up here in the summertime. The sheep operations are very labor intensive, and that whole thing has just changed a lot. So Dad switched out of the we kind of got out of the sheep business in the 60s and cattle, and then he did some other things, and he actually ended up being quite successful doing real estate. He had his little niche. He understood the ranch operations very well, and a lot of this property was ranch property at the time. So he was very good at explaining to potential buyers what, you know, the water rights and the grazing and all of that stuff. So he kind of had his little niche here with that. But we always have continued to run some livestock up here too. My brother started this operation in the early 80s, right? And Vail Rod and Gun Club. And so, you know, they've sort of tapped into that tourist economy here with this. But they've done it in a way, their product is the old traditional ranch. And I think they've done a good job with preserving that vibe here. So.
Well, and it definitely seems to have a little bit more of that old ranch vibe than some of the other, shall we say, ranch adjacent tourist properties that you see a lot out in the West, where they were built from the ground up to serve tourists and don't really have that tradition. No matter how hard they're trying to replicate that same feel, it's just not quite the same as you get when you're here.
Yeah, we've done this on a different scale, and I mean, the amenities are wonderful, but I mean, if you want the Ritz-Carlton, that's not this place, right? Yeah. So. No slam on the Ritz-Carlton, great place, right?
Ritz-Carlton doesn't have a couple acres of private river.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've got some nice river for the fishing, and so there's a lot of recreational opportunities here, and I think we have a unique package for the value, and I will let others more that involved in it explain that one to you.
Well, awesome, Greg. Is there anything else you want to tell us about before we let you go?
You know, I just want to say, I mean, if you're really interested in really getting a look at some of the old ranch culture around here, I mean, you'll find it down here, and we'd love to come share it with you, so come see us.
Awesome. Well, Greg Juflis, Lazy J Ranch, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. You guys are doing great.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh! If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
TV8, there's more for you on 92. Serving the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday morning for Good Morning Vail on TV8. I'm your host, Liz. By the time I am done here with the show, I'm super hungry. I'm not the greatest cook, but I like to watch who's in our kitchen here at TV8 because they give great ideas for nice, simple dishes. If you're looking to make a nice breakfast bowl for the family or for yourself or somebody special this morning, let's take a look and watch Kim's recipe come to life.
Now it is breakfast time, and you know what that means. I am looking for a healthy way to fuel my body throughout the day, but also still make it hearty and delicious, especially if you plan to get out on the mountain, whether it's hiking, biking, and skiing in the wintertime and beyond. So one of the things that I like to do is look for quick and easy yet delicious meals. So we're gonna go ahead and make a breakfast bowl. It's going to be so easy to assemble, and then we're popping it into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes or so. We've got several different ingredients, and you can mix and match with what you like, but believe it or not, we've got frozen tater tots, chorizo. You can pick a regular chorizo if you want, but really any kind of breakfast meat. If you're looking for more of a lower calorie option, Morningstar has a veggie chorizo, which is also a really good thing to add into this breakfast bowl. Shredded cheese. We've got liquid egg whites. So you can do egg beaters, but you can also do it as an original egg white as well, which is just as easy to do. You don't have to crack eggs. It makes it less messy. And then season as you wish. So we've got garlic powder, some salt. If you like some pepper, you can throw that on, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to assemble this breakfast bowl that we will be putting in the oven. You can meal prep a bunch for the whole week, and then you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got my egg beaters here. I'm going to go open my egg beaters. And now, depending on the size of your bowl, if you're doing a little bit of a smaller bowl, I would do about a half a cup. If you're doing a larger bowl like we are, I would do about 3/4 of a cup of these liquid egg beaters. So I'm going to just pour it in here, about 3/4 of a cup. Nice and easy, just like that. And just pour it in. I'm always on the search for a delicious but healthy breakfast meal because scrambled eggs every morning can be a little boring sometimes as we're working through that. So I poured my liquid egg whites in, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt on my own measuring. So whatever you prefer, I'm going to do just a couple dashes here. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of salt. We like the pink Himalayan sea salt here in the studio. I think it's just a delicious extra added flavor to it. Then some garlic powder. I do light garlic powder, believe it or not, in my breakfast bowls. It just adds a little extra depth and layering to the flavor. We're gonna take a spoon and just stir those seasonings up just like that. Now, you don't have to put too much spice if you're using just traditional chorizo in your bowl. We sauteed some of this up earlier just to make it nice and browned. It'll add a little bit of spice to it. Now, if you're being very specific, you can always count your macros to add this in. And if you wanted to do about, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup, but I'm just gonna spoon a little bit into my breakfast bowl right here. We're just gonna mix that around just like that. I'll do about 2 spoonfuls just to keep it light. Oh, I can't wait to try this. This is gonna be so delicious this morning. And then we're gonna take our shredded cheddar cheese. So it really doesn't matter if you are trying to be calorie conscious, you can always use a reduced fat. Sometimes people think that's not the best for you, but if you're really watching your calories, I say the less is better no matter what you're doing, and as long as you're properly fueling your body. So we're just gonna take a little bit of this shredded cheese. Now this is a triple cheddar blend. I like to have as many layered flavors into my meals as possible in the best and easiest way possible. So we'll just add a little more cheese because why not? We've got that cheese sprinkled into our breakfast bowl. Next we're gonna do, things are falling over all over the place here in the kitchen. Now we're gonna add some tater tots. And yes, you may say tater tots, that's not very healthy. Well, that's okay. We can add just a few. It's not like we're going to be eating an entire basket full that you may get at a restaurant. We're gonna add just a few of these, and just frozen tater tots, fresh out of the freezer section. I'm gonna put about 6 in here. So just stick them into your breakfast bowl just like that. I've got 3. You could do maybe 5 if you wanted to, but we're gonna add 6 because this is a little bit of a larger serving. Awesome, okay. As you can see it looks wonderful. What we're gonna do is we'll pop it into the oven and then we'll let it bake. It'll bake for about 20 minutes on 350. They're quite delicious. Once you pull them out, they'll be ready to go. You'll be fueled for the day. Lots happening to get your day started. And I know I'm gonna be heating this up and definitely eating it when we are finished with the show. So, any kind of breakfast bowl that you want to make. But I like the chorizo with the tater tots, a little bit of the cheese, and this still feels like a delicious and indulgent meal, even though it is quite good for you and high in protein. So if you want more recipes, make sure that you like and follow along on our Instagram and our Facebook pages. We'll share all of these recipes if you're interested. We'll be right back after this.
Let's take a final look at your weather for the day. We have sunshine all throughout the entire day. By noon, it'll be 61 with sunny skies. By 4 p.m., 68 with sunny skies, and we're going to have nice clear skies tonight. By 8 p.m., it'll be 60 degrees, and we'll have that beautiful crescent moon and all the stars in the sky that you can look at and enjoy the evening. I hope you enjoyed today's show, your Tuesday edition of Good Morning Vail here on TV8. We learned about skincare. We learned about the new high school football, as well as the track and field stars coming up for all of us, as well as we have our brand new neighbor, Chuck. And he is going to be bringing us these incredible lockers and a new atmosphere for convenience and everything else. So you guys get out there, have a great, wonderful Tuesday morning and the rest of your day. And thank you always for tuning in to Good Morning Vail on TV8.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services?